Hi, welcome to week 3 of the Fox Crochet-along. I'm Mary from Cute and Cozy Crochet, and last week we made the body, and the eyes, and the head. And this week we're going to make it just a little cuter. We're going to be making the nose, the ears, the arms, and a little fluffy tail. So, well, it's not a little tail, it's actually a long one. So what you're going to need for this week is some Vanna's Choice Lion Brand yarn in white, in taupe, and in terracotta. You'll also want either some black embroidery thread or some black scrap yarn, a yarn needle, some scissors, and a stitch marker. And of course you're going to need a 4mm crochet hook or G hook. So we're going to start today by making the nose, and we'll start with your white yarn. So pinch it between, we're going to make a magic circle, so pinch it between your thumb and your ring finger and wrap it around your pointer and your middle and grab it again with your ring and pointer finger. Slip your hook underneath that bottom yarn over the top, pull through, and then yarn over with that bottom now and pull through. Sometimes it takes a little bit. All right, now we're going to do 6 single crochet into that magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we're going to pull it tight on that end yarn. Now take your stitch marker and put it in that last stitch and lock it into place. All right, now we're going to do 2 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the next. So, whoops, sometimes it's hard for me to see with this white yarn. So we'll do 2 single crochet in this first stitch if I can get the hook through there. There we go. So we'll do 2 single crochet in the first stitch. 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next. 2 in the next. 1, 2, and 1 in the next. 2 in the next one. And 1 in the next. All right, put that stitch marker back. Now we're going to do 2 single crochet in the first stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 after that. So 1, 2, and then 1 in the next, and 1 in the third there. So 2 in the first, so 1, 2, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third. 2 in the next, 2, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third. And you should have 12 stitches in that round. Put that stitch marker back so you always keep your place. And always make sure to be pulling this so you have the right side pointing out. You're going to know the right side because it's a little bit more rough. The wrong side looks a little strange. So, all right. Now we're going to do 2 single crochet in the first stitch and 1 single crochet in the next 3. So 1, goodness sake, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and then 2 in the next, and 1 in each of the next 3. 2 in the next, one in the next 3, one in each of the next 3. So there should be 15 in this round. I know you are. Got my little girl here with me. So now we're going to be doing 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 in the next 4. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. The yarn's creeping up to me. There we go. Now we do 2 in the next, 1, 2, and 1 in each of the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Awesome. 2 in the next, 1, 2, and 1 in each of the next. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great. All right, we have one more increase row or round. So 2 in the next, 1 in the next, in each of the next 5. We'll do that 3 times. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2 in the first there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great, and one last time, 2 in that first, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that stitch marker back. All right, now we're going to do 2 rounds of single crochet in each stitch around. So there will be 21 total in each round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. All right, let's do it one more time, one more round. All right, and now I want you to insert into the next stitch and do a slip stitch. We'll pull the yarn out. You want to make sure you have a really long string because you're going to be sewing this onto your face. All right, and then make sure that this is nice and tight in the middle and cut that middle yarn. All right, now we're going to put on the face. So you're going to want to grab some terracotta yarn, make a nice, lots of yarn out of here. There is a needle in there. That's good. Okay. All right, let's see here. I'll just grab this one. All right, and then I'm going to cut it. Put it right on through your needle. Oops. All right, and meet the ends. That end looks a little funky, so. All right. So meet the ends. And we're going to tie a knot there. Make sure you have it doubled because this is going to help in getting this done a little quicker. And sometimes I make it too long. All right, there we go. And now what I want you to do is we're going to embroider orange just above that middle circle here. So right here is where our nose is going to go. So right here is where we're going to do the orange part of the nose. So you go right there and pull it right through. Oops, sorry about that. And then we're going to go all the way up to that last round and put the yarn through. Pull the yarn through. Okay, now you have a straight line. Go right back down. Go through right here. Pull it through again. Make sure you don't tighten it too tight because it might curl, and go into the next stitch over. Right, and now we're going to do it on the other side. So maybe there, pull it through, and go on to the other stitch. Great. Now we'll do it again. Oops, a little lower there. Getting caught on everything here. All right, and then we're going to put it right in between there. Okay, we're going to do one more there.
Are you going to make some arms?
Yep, I'll make him arms too. Put it right there. And there you have that middle nose part. Now, turn it inside out for you. We're going to run this through here, just kind of under. I like to go through like the big loop like that, and then pull it tighter, and go into that again, and pull it tight, just to really get that nice knot there. And then take your scissors. Okay. Great. And now we're going to do the little nose. Okay. So we're going to take our black yarn or the embroidery thread and put it through either an embroidery needle or the yarn needle, depending. And we'll tie that knot again. I like to double it up because it goes a little quicker. Tie a nice big knot there. And it's okay that this is kind of bulky in there because we're going to stuff it, don't worry. Forgot to mention that we will need poly-fil, but you'll see that in the description. So, all right, now right above that spot, you're going to go right in here. Oh, actually, we'll have you go on this side. And be careful not to get this caught in there. I've made that mistake before. And now we're going to go right here across and slip it right on through again like that. And we're just going to keep going through that middle part a few times. All right, and we're going to do that again. Same place, 3 times. 3 times should be plenty for it. All right, and one more. Kind of make the first one in the middle, the second one on top, and the third one on the bottom of that. And if you'd like to do one more, you definitely can. So let's just do one more just for good measure. Give it a little bit more of that button look, button nose look. Perfect. And actually we didn't need to go in there like that. We can go back. Good. And now we're going to go through this a few times. And do a little bit of snip. All right. Now we are going to put the nose on the body. So here's your body, and here's your nose. And you're probably going to want to get a little pin to get it perfect on there, or you can just kind of sew. So if you want, you can take a pin and put it right in the middle there so that it kind of stays put. And now we're going to take our yarn needle and thread the yarn right on through there. And now we will sew it onto the head. So I like to insert the needle and then kind of skip a stitch and go in and pull on through. All right. And then go back to the stitch that we skipped. Go in and go into that next. Oh goodness. Having a little trouble here. Sometimes it's hard to get in there. So this is one of the more difficult parts of amigurumi, is having to sew things on. But it is still really rewarding once you get it all done. All right, now you want to make sure that when you are doing this, you are, I gotta get a chair that doesn't squeak, that you are making sure that that little orange part is right in between the eyes. So sometimes holding it with your thumb there will help. And then going under like this. Pulling it through. Just like that. All right, now before we continue, you're going to want to stuff this with some poly-fil. So grab just a little bit here and kind of stuff it into that little spot there. Oh, goodness sake. I'm better fingers again today. And you don't need to stuff it really full, but just however you feel it looks good. All right, and once you have it to the point you like, finish sewing up. I know I did that kind of weird, pulling it through like that. Then you can go through like this, kind of maybe go around a little bit a few times. Nose. And then pull it through the bottom, pull it really tight, and do a little snip. Kind of organize it a little bit. Sometimes it might be a little off, but I kind of like the character of that. So there's your little nose, and you're done with that part. Now we're going to continue on with the ears. So you'll take your taupe yarn to start, and we're going to make a magic circle and do 6 single crochets into the magic circle. I've heard it called magic ring too, so all right. We'll do 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh dear, and 6. Great. Now grab that and pull right on through. Okay, take your stitch marker and put it into that last stitch and lock it. Now we're going to do a round of 2 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the next. So 1, 2, 1, and then you're going to do 1 in the next 2, sorry, 2, and then 2 in the next, 1, 2, and then 1 in each of the next 2. Now before you finish off that last stitch, I want you to grab your terracotta yarn and connect it here. Okay, put the stitch marker in there last stitch. All right, and just like we did with the legs, we're going to be crocheting over this yarn. So I want you to do 2 single crochet in the first stitch and then 1 in the next 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oops, I accidentally did just back loop on that one. Make sure you're going in both loops. All right, now 2 single crochet in the next stitch. 1, 2, 1 in the next 3, 2, 3. Then you can take your scissors and cut those. All right, make sure you're turning everything back out. Now we're going to do 2 single crochet in the first stitch. Oh, I'm gonna put that stitch marker back so I don't lose my spot. And then 1 single crochet in each of the next 4. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 single crochet in the next 1, 2, and then 1 in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Oops, put the stitch marker back. Now we're going to do 2 rounds of 1 single crochet in each. So it should be 12 stitches in each round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, goodness. All right. And we'll do 1 more round. These smaller ones can be a little bit more difficult to deal with just because they can be, your hands can feel so big compared to the small piece, but luckily they also work up pretty quickly, so you don't have to be playing with it too long. All right. Okay, and then we just finish off with a long yarn there, long tail, sorry. Take the yarn needle and thread it in. Now we're going to sew this close. So I do like that, and then the next one. Mm-hmm. And then the next one. My daughter's asking about the little fox. She loves them. She thinks they're adorable. All right, now once you have that sewed close, you'll be able to sew it right on top of her. And you'll see that, you know, it says it's 3 rows down and it's kind of going to be diagonal to that eye. So how I like to do it is I like to stick the needle in right at that round where you have the decreases there. And I just stick it right through a couple stitches and push that on through. And now Yes. What I'll do is I'll go through these last stitches on that last round and pull through. Kind of juggling a little bit here. And now you're going to keep going straight down to the side. So you're not going to keep going on these decrease stitches. You're going to keep going straight down to the side. And push it on through there again. Sometimes you might want to go in the same stitch again, or same place you went before. And go over to the next one. Go down. We got some happy baby noises again. My little one woke up. Stick it right on in there. Then go through that last stitch. And go in there. And now when I finish off, what I like to do is go right through the bottom there. Sometimes you go into the head and sometimes it's just through the stitches that you just made. You pull it on through and then try to go through again by kind of going one stitch over so that you get that nice little hooked in there. And then go through again. I work it pretty hard in there. It can get a little rough on my hands sometimes, but it's really fun. And after you've done that a couple of times, you just stick your needle right into the head, the next stitch, and you push it to the other side. Pull through really tight so that it kind of squishes a little, and snip. And there you have one ear. And it's once you've made that second ear, you can just go back and do, sew it shut, string it right on through, and we'll put it right on the other side. And you can see how cute that face looks now that you have both of those ears sewn on. So now we're going to move on to the arms.
Can I see?
So now we're going to make our arms. So we'll take the taupe yarn and do a magic circle here. All right, now we're going to do 6 single crochets into that magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you pull that tight. Take your stitch marker and put it into that last stitch. All right, now we're going to do 2 single crochet in each stitch around. So. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll be 12 total. 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we'll do 2 that last. 11, 12. Put the stitch marker back in. Make sure to pull it tight. And now we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So it should be 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, my yarn scraping up, 11, and 12. And that was round 3. Now we're going to do that for 3 more rows or rounds. There's 4. Five. One more round like this. All right, and before you finish off that round, grab your terracotta yarn and join it. And I like to hold on to the end of the terracotta while you're holding on to the end of the taupe. And then remember, we go over it. So under the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. We're going to crochet right over those 2 yarns. Just like that. Take your stitch marker, put it back into that last stitch that was in taupe and lock it into place. Now we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and we're going to continue to do it over that yarn so it hides in there. Okay. I always work slower on these ones because you got to make sure that you're hiding that yarn in there. And I always like to make sure that the color that I am crocheting in is on top so that it doesn't show too much or at all. Okay, oops. And once you get to that last, sorry about that, that last stitch, that's when I will cut. Making sure not to cut the yarn I'm using. And I also like to cut that middle one at this point too, just to get it out of the way, because it can get in your way sometimes. And that last one. All right, now we're going to single crochet in each stitch around. That was round 7. Now we're going to single crochet in each stitch around for rounds 8 through 17. Now once you've done all 17 rows, I want you to do a slip stitch in the next stitch. cut a long tail, one long enough to sew on to your body, and then pull it right on through. Now we are going to stuff this so that it is about 7/8 full. So we got some poly-fil, pop it in there. Can be a little bit difficult, so use the smallest finger you got to get it in there. I have pretty small hands, so I can use my thumb, but some other people might need to use a pinky or pointer finger. All right, so I got it about 2/3 full. Let's do a little bit more. And about that full. So you want to still be able to pinch it closed there. Now what we'll do is thread it through the needle, your yarn needle. And we are going to sew this shut. So I like to go in like that, and then go into the other side like this, and just kind of keep going back and forth, sewing it shut. All right, and now we're going to take it and we're going to sew it onto the body. And you're going to want to sew it between rounds 37 and 38. So that would be just a few rows below, or rounds below, the increases. So let's see here, that'd be 6 rounds below the increases. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here is where we're going to be sewing it on. Now if you want, you can pin it on there, or you can just hold it tight. I just go right on in like this, sew it on there. There are lots of different ways that you can sew it. If you don't want to have that bulk part, you can just keep weaving like this and go sideways. But I kind of just like, because of the more certainty, or the sturdiness of it, I like to just go right around that stitch and go in straight across. So whatever way you're most comfortable with, or whatever way you think looks the best, do it that way. This is kind of the part where you really do get to make it your own. All right, and now we're going to take the needle and we're going to kind of weave it back and forth between those stitches to try to tighten it up in there. I'll do it about one more time here. All right, and then what I do is I stick it into, I like to weave it in on the other side and just kind of go through these, all the little V's you'll see there. Just kind of go through a few of them. Pull through, and we go into the arm here. And then we'll go the other way into all those little V's. I'll be making a video soon on how I weave in ends, just to help everybody understand. And I like to do it at least 3 rows so that we're really getting it nice and tight in there. Then you want to pull it just a little tighter than what it's supposed to be and snip, and then just All right, so there's one arm, and then you'll put the other arm on the other side. So if you've already made that arm, grab it. Otherwise, you can go back and do this again, and you'll just put it on the other side. Make sure you're doing it right across. I didn't stuff this one as full as I stuffed my original ones, so it might be a little bit fluffier. All right, just hold it there. Sounds like my baby's waking up. All right. Instead. It's a lot trickier doing this farther away from my face. I usually have it right up against my face. I bring it so high up. All right, go back and forth. All right. Sorry about that. Pop it through. Go through all the V's. And one more time. Tight and snip. And there you have the other arm. You can make sure that they are on the same side there. Sorry, all this poly-fil all over it. And you got the arms. Doesn't that look cute? Awesome. And so now we'll move on to the tail. So now we're going to make the tail. We're going to start with a magic circle. And work 6 single crochets into that magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Great. Grab your stitch marker, put it in that last stitch. Now 2 single crochet in the first stitch for round 2, and then single crochet 2 in the next 2 stitches, and we'll do that twice. So 1, 2, 1, 1. Good. Sorry about that. 1, 2, 1, and 1. Great. Stitch marker back in there. Now we will do 2 single crochet in the first stitch and 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 after that. 1, goodness, messed up already. All right, 1, 2, and then 1 in the next 3. So 1, 1, 1. Great, and then 2 in the next 1, 2, and then 1 in each of the next 3. 1, 1, 1. Good. Now 2 in the first and 1 in the next 4. 1 in each of the next 4. So 1, 2 in that first, and then 1 in each of the next 4. All right, now 2 in the next, 1, 2, and 1 in each of the next 4. 3, oops, and 4. All right, now 2 in the next, 1 in each of the next 5 after that. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. 2 in the next, 1, 2, and 1 in the next, in each of the next 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, put your stitch marker right back in there. Now, so 2 in the next, 1, 2, and then 1 in each of the next 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 in the next, 1, 2, and then 1 in each of the next 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Great. Stitch marker in. Now 2 in the first, 1 in each of the next 7. We'll do that twice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 2 in the next, 1, 2, and 1 in each of the next 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around. There should be 18 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And we'll do that one more round. Okay, messed that up. Sorry about that. Great. Oh, sorry, I forgot that before you get to that, when you get into that last stitch, before you finish off that stitch, I want you to connect your terracotta yarn. Oopsie. All right, there we go. Put your stitch marker right on back in there. Good. And now we're going to single crochet in each stitch around. 3. I grab those scissors, if I can find them. And now make sure you don't cut the good yarn that you want. Trim it, trim that middle. Done with the white. And I think I grabbed the wrong end of my yarn, so it's going to be a bit difficult here. All right. Now we're going to do a single crochet in every stitch around. Alright, and now we're going to do a decrease row. So single crochet 2 together, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on hook, pull through. Now we're going to single crochet 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now single crochet 2 together and single crochet 7. And 7. Stitch marker back in. It might help at this point to grab a little poly-fil and stuff it in there. Remember, not all the way to the top of it, or you'll end up crocheting it into the side, and you definitely do not want to be doing that. All right, so for the next 3 rounds, I want you to do a single crochet in each stitch around, and there should be 16. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Put the stitch marker back in. Now we're going to repeat that for 2 more rounds. Now we're going to do 2 single crochet in the first 2 stitches. So single crochet 2 together, and then we'll do single crochet 6. So 1, single crochet 2 together, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now single crochet 2 together and do 1 in each of the next 6. So now we're down to 14 stitches in each round. We're going to do a single crochet in each stitch around for 2 rounds. Alright, and one more round of that. Sorry, my little girl's playing in her exerciser, making lots of rattling noises. All right. And now before we continue with the next round, what I want you to do is stuff it a little bit more. So grab some more poly-fil, stuff it in there just to add a little bit more. And you can make this tail nice and firm if you like, or you can make it squishy, whichever you prefer. It's really, like I said, this is part of your designing. That's one of the things I love the most about amigurumi is you kind of get to design it yourself, which is really great. So now for round 19, that's how far we are at this point. We're going to single crochet 2 together and then do 5 single crochets. So single crochet 2 together and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to do single crochet 2 together and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. Put the stitch marker back. Now we're going to single crochet in each stitch around for 2 rounds. There'll be 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. One more round just like that. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. My girl's really playing a lot. She's having fun. All right, so that's through round 21. You can add a little bit more poly-fil. All right, and now we're going to do single crochet 2 together and then single crochet 4. So single crochet 2 together and now 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet 2 together and then 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, we're almost done here, guys. We have 2 more rounds. Single crochet in each stitch around for 2 more rounds. There should be 10 in each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oh goodness, 9, and then 10. All right, one more round. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, now you want to cut a nice long tail there and pull it right on through. You could slip stitch if you wanted to into the next stitch, but sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. Now thread the needle, the yarn needle. You want to finish stuffing this though. So grab a little bit more poly-fil and use your pointer, your pinky to just kind of stuff it in there. And just like the arms, you don't want it stuffed all the way to the top because you want to have it able to kind of fall against the butt of the fox. All right, so now we will sew this closed. So. All right, now we're gonna take our little fox, turn him around, and you want to sew him 6 rows up from the very bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's gonna be right here, and you want to have it right in the middle there. Okay. And especially if you are making Felix the fox, you want this to be 6 rows up because you're going to have his tail peeking out from his overalls. All right, and you just sew it right on there. Awesome. There we go. Now we're gonna kind of weave it right on through those loops there. Good. Now turn over the tail, go through the V's from the previous rounds. Okay. And remember, like with the legs, I do it about 3 times here, so go back and forth just to hide it in there. And make it so a little kid can't pull it undone, right? Because you want them to be able to enjoy them for a while. All right. Oh, having a hard time with this one. Okay, pull it on through. And snip. And there you have it, his adorable little tail. And you've got Felix or Fiona all done. All you have to do now is make the outfit. So next week we will be doing that. Goodness sake, I think I crocheted a piece of my hair. So we will be making the outfit next week. I'll do 2 separate videos, one for Felix's overalls and one for Fiona's dress. Have fun, guys. Happy crocheting.